It's 6:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. 2 men have been charged while a third is on the run following a hold-up at Cardiff. The men entered the Iron Horse Inn on Main Road at 20 to 12 last night. Two are armed with a sledgehammer and a knife and demanded cash. The robbery attempt was unsuccessful. Police apprehended 2 men aged 18 and 19 a short time later. They've since been charged and refused bail to front Toronto local court today, while a third man remains at large. New South Wales Fines Administration Commissioner Tony Newbury is advising Hunter motorists to tell the truth when contesting driving offences. Hunter drivers who falsely nominate another person or falsely accept responsibility for a driving offence could cop a fine of more than $600 or face a day in court. Tony Newbury says false claims are an ongoing issue for the New South Wales Office of State Revenue.
In the last year, we issued around 180 people with fines and with court attendance notices for fraudulently accepting a nomination or failing to nominate. And so far, in 14-15 this year, the courts have issued fines and costs of around $570,000 for that offence.
A ship has been arrested heading into the port of Newcastle. The Jojin Maru was served with a federal court writ demanding around $330,000 as it arrived to pick up its cargo yesterday. It's alleged the ship received about 400 metric tonnes of fuel in March, which was never paid for. Hunter homebuyers are the big winners following the Reserve Bank's decision to cut interest rates to an all-time low. The official cash rate now stands at 2%. Chief Executive of the Real Estate Institute, Amanda Lynch, is welcoming the rate cut, but is concerned about people taking on more than they can afford.
What we're trying to do is make sure that home ownership retains its reputation as a good investment. You know, we don't want it to be trashed by people actually borrowing money that can't afford it.
Already, the Maitland Mutual Building Society has passed on the full rate cut. The head of the disaster recovery effort will be heading to the village of Toryburn near Gresford today, which is still cut off since its bridge was washed away in the floods. Brigadier Darren Newman is hoping the visit will help the newly formed Regional Recovery Committee to come up with a short-term solution ahead of a new bridge being built. More than 1,400 students are expected to attend the 60th annual Newcastle Combined Schools ANZAC service this morning, as well as commemorating the soldiers who fought at Gallipoli. This year, the hard work of nurses who served will be emphasised. Director Michelle Gosper says it's important to involve students in the commemoration of ANZAC Day.
We try to make it come alive for the student audience, so that they get a real sense of being inside this event and not just on the edge of it. And I think the teachers themselves that bring the students see it as a really important teaching tool to understand the significance of ANZAC Day.
And April was the wettest in the Hunter for more than 100 years. Some parts of the region received 7 times the average rainfall. Now with sport, Belinda Delaceres.
Newcastle Knights skipper Kurt Gidley is promising to remain true to the red and blue after revealing he'll round out his playing days with EPL powerhouse Warrington. The 32-year-old will join the Wolves for 1 year at season's end, drawing the curtain on more than 200 NRL games to become the club's third most capped player. He says he'll be lapping up every last minute.
Every day I'm one step closer to my last training session, last game. This club is the world to me. It's been the majority of my life.
Meanwhile, the Knights have settled on an 18-man side for Sunday's round 9 clash with Manly. Injured enforcer Beau Scott returns to an otherwise unchanged lineup, pushing Chris Houston onto the extended bench. And Jets officials are putting their money where their mouths are. They're promising to help fund new talent through the Emerging Jets program, with an unconfirmed sum to be determined at this month's meeting with Northern New South Wales Football. That's sport. I'm Belinda Delaceres.
To NURFM News Time 26 to 7.